Evil Dead, Evil Dead, Evil Dead, Evil Dead.
Were you happy about this?
Yes.
It wasn't as good as the remake movie.
Oh, what can be, really? Yeah, I was super excited about this. I'm sure you were too, right? Mm-hmm. You better have been.
Better have been.
Evil Dead 2 is my favorite movie. If anyone's watched any of my stuff, you'll know that. But I love the Evil Dead series, so I was super stoked about this. And I was happy that it actually turned out as good as it seemed it would be, you know? Like, instead of like, oh, hype, and then, it was kind of blue.
But Ash was too big of a jerk in it. He should have been nicer.
Should have been nicer. Let's have everyone get along.
He should just oh no, I need to save everyone and be super nice.
Oh dear, the evil Deadites! Some of it was obnoxious, but most of it was fine. Like, that's the point. So,
I love at the start when he just comes in like he's acting cool, throws the dirt at the dartboard and misses.
That was amazing. And then he has sex with a woman through his pants. Mm-hmm. I do like, okay, she turns her head around and she's a deadite, and he's like, oh no, this hasn't happened in 30 years, oh my god. And she's like, well, I was gonna come on. He's like, I could finish, but I gotta hurry, okay? Finishes.
Yeah.
They had a lot of great gags on this that were pretty good. Mm-hmm. It was, there was a lot of it that felt like Evil Dead. Like, there were things that...
Like a lot of the camera movements and, you know, a lot of it felt like the classic movies.
Mm-hmm. Especially near the end when it's hitting the trailer and they're all falling around the trailer. That seemed total classic Evil Dead moment. Mm-hmm. But it also seemed like its own kind of entity, because in the series, the movie series... You don't get to see a lot of interaction. You don't get to see a lot of Ash as a character. I mean, you do, but you don't get to see him in the real world. You get to see him fighting demons.
Yeah, either that or in the past.
Yeah, and it's not a lot of dialogue-heavy stuff. So this is more of a chance to explore like him as a character, and him as a character, you know, 30 years later, because no one is who they were 30 years prior, so obviously he's going to be a little different, so it's a time to kind of re-explore and re-establish the character and what he's done since it's happened. Mm-hmm. And he's sort of running away from his demons.
Yeah, I like that aspect of it, that he's trying to ignore it. It's like that is his own stupidity that brought it back.
Yeah, he got so high in trying to impress a woman that they read the Necronomicon together. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just because it's been a while since I watched it. Why did he have the Necronomicon? He just had it from the end of Army of Darkness?
I suppose.
I guess he had it when he went to sleep and then woke up however many 100 years later?
Yeah.
And he just kept it with him for 30 years?
I suppose.
I don't know. I would have trouble keeping that with me after everything that happened, you would think.
He got some of it translated, but he was like being very slow with it.
Why did he though? Why didn't he just try to destroy it or get rid of it? I guess he couldn't. In the first one, it was burned though. Maybe there's just another one. They just keep popping up.
I don't know which continuity is real.
Which continuity are we going with? They're all sort of different anyway. Well, they kind of went with all of them. They had a bit where he's telling Pablo about what happened 30 years ago. And they did a really cool effect with all of the movie clips on the boxes as he's telling it, and I really liked that.
I guess the Linda from 2 was the real Linda.
Well, they had both of them. Mm-hmm. They showed both, but they didn't
show
a lot of the first one. There were 2 Linda. Well, they showed her in demon makeup, so I guess it could have been anyone.
Yeah, well, the only one they showed clearly as Linda was the second one.
Well, you weren't in the room when they showed more of her, but...
Well, you said that they showed the demon makeup. I mean, I know what that looks like.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. But
I'm guessing that's supposed to be the one, just because, well, they weren't going to use What's-Her-Face from 3.
Yeah, well, you could pick and choose whatever from continuity you want to take, because I'm sure that's what they do. They're just fast and loose with continuity in this series.
I took 2 Lindas to the cabin. Wait, was it 3?
It was... Well, he mentioned his friends, so it's definitely one is part of it, but I think, you know, the beginning of Evil Dead 2 was just a way of recapping it without having to use clips from the first one.
Yeah, or go through as many people really quickly.
Yeah. Because I think they had some rights issues at the time that they couldn't use clips from the first one. That's why they had to recap, basically. And then it made it very confusing. But then again, Army of Darkness sort of did the same thing, but a little more condensed, so they all sort of have different beginnings.
Army of Darkness felt more like a recapping thing, though, anyway.
It was more clear what was going on. Because
everyone's like, this is what happened, and now here's what happened after.
Yeah, because Evil Dead 2, everyone watches it and they're like, what, is he an idiot? Did he go back to the cabin with another girlfriend named Linda? Like, what a dumbass.
I always like joking about that, but I mean, I always knew, obviously, it's just kind of a remake-y type thing to get to what, the heart of Evil Dead 2 was.
So at the beginning, he's like, there's a running joke through the whole thing that he's old, and he's got like, a girdle and a wooden hand and fake teeth. And
amazing.
He's listening to like some rock and roll and like drinking from a fruit punch little juice box. His terrible dancing.
He should have kept his mechanical hand from the past. I don't know why he got rid of that. Yeah,
that was amazing. Though I do like the wooden hand too. I like that it's sort of, everything's sort of way too old timey. Like the girdle, I don't know from what century that was from. Where did he get that?
Yeah. I want to see, like, you only got like a little tease of Lucy Lawless's character in this one. I want to see more of her. But, I mean, I know you're going to. It's just like...
Yeah, I'm sure they just kind of threw her in to say, like, she's coming.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's, like, so many episodes she was signed up for, or whatever it was. She only has, like, the 1 or 2 lines.
I'm interested to see what her character is in the series.
Well, I know what it is. I mean, because just from the name. But I won't spoil it if anyone hasn't read about it. We won't spoil it on here, but I kind of have an idea what they're going to do with it. I'm interested to see where that goes. But I mean, I haven't really read up a lot about what's going to happen. Like, I've avoided spoilers. I didn't watch the 3-minute preview that they did. All I've seen is just clips from either behind the scenes or the trailers that they released. Because I didn't want to spoil myself on what was going to happen. They have some episode descriptions and things like that, and I did read the descriptions, but yeah, I'm interested how the
She'd see that cop and said, "You're my new garbles. Time for the shocker."
I liked the stuff with Amanda, the cop. The showdown that she had with the girlfriend or the whatever she is to Ash, the girl that got possessed and her head turned around, and her partner going on the deer antlers and then messing with her. That was some stuff that felt like classic Evil Dead. Him like walking around on the ceiling. I wish there was a little less shaky cam, but I think that's just sort of how things are now anyway.
I was okay with how it was done in this.
I mean, it wasn't overly distracting.
If it gets obnoxious, then that's when I have a problem with it.
It wasn't overly distracting or anything, but that's just my personal preference anyway.
The CG doll was one of the most distracting things.
That was the worst part about it, was the doll scene. Yeah. Which is a shame because, like... on paper, it is like classic Evil Dead, where he's like hitting himself in the face with the pots and stuff.
Yeah,
that was
I liked
great.
that part of it. I mean, it didn't completely ruin it for me, but yeah, that looked kind of silly. Yeah,
they were saying in the behind the scenes thing that they want to use practical effects as much as they can.
Yeah, and
that's a good thing because anytime they use CGI, it was little crap.
Yeah, I prefer that anyway, and all the practical stuff looked pretty cool.
Yeah, the practical stuff looked great. The CGI is distracting, even if it's not the worst CGI, but it's not great either. And that doll especially was the worst part about it, because there's so much of it, because anytime it's moving around,
it's like when CGI. The guy just splatted it with the shovel.
Yeah, that was a good moment with Pablo. I liked Pablo, and I liked, what was the girl's name that was with him? We forgot the girl's name. Pablo and the girl.
And the girl.
I don't remember her name, but I liked them both. And I thought I'd be a little bit annoyed with her character because it starts off like the kind of like tough, I don't take no shit kind of thing. But it didn't annoy me after that, and I guess sort of Ash's character needs that.
But why did Ash hit on her?
Why did Ash hit on her? He's so unlike him.
Why? I thought he's supposed to be a gentleman.
I did like when she's like, "You're gonna need another wooden hand." What, like a wooden hand to replace my wooden hand or my real hand? I mean, I guess he sort of needs a character like that to put him in place, too, because that's how you make a character like that work. You can't have just everyone, like, there's no consequences to anything. You gotta have someone to kind of put them in place.
Yeah, definitely.
And
that's why it works all right.
Mm-hmm. And there's a nice contrast with Pablo's character, too, that he sees Ash as sort of like a hero, even though he's the worst kind of person to make into your hero. Like, before even any of that stuff happens with the Evil Dead, he's, like, breaking all of the light bulbs and, like, trying to brush them under the pallets. And then, like, oh, you're the coolest guy, but you're the coolest thing about this place, man. Come on.
Well, that's true.
That's true. I loved when, even though it's in all of the trailers, it was still awesome when Pablo kicks the chainsaw to him and he catches it on his hand, flying through the air, like defying physics.
Yeah, you knew that was coming anyway, but still, when it was happening, it's like,
yeah, Evil Dead, because that's when it really kicks into gear, because, you know, he's sort of like, oh no, I've got to get out of town, I'm not going to deal with this, you got the wrong guy, and then they're like, oh no, the Evil Dead are coming to the trailer, like, alright, takes off the jacket, got the classic Ash outfit, like, chainsaw, or shotgun in the floor that he kicks up. Oh, and he was fighting that grandma, it was so great.
Yeah.
You took your Geritol, it's time to dance. Her flying through the air at him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, this has got everything that makes you excited for Evil Dead, unlike that movie, that newer one. It's just like, I was never very interested in that, and then it's just like, but then I saw stuff for this, like, yeah, this is what I want. You know?
Well, it needed the humor. Humor is such a staple for Evil Dead, and taking it out in the remake, when it got to be its own thing, I said it when I watched the movie in my vlog about it, but when the movie started to be its own thing at the end, it was a decent horror movie. It wasn't Evil Dead, really. There were a lot of neat gore effects and things like that, and I liked Mia as a character, but it just, overall, it didn't feel like classic Evil Dead. And a lot of that, of course, is Bruce Campbell. It's really hard to try and recreate that, and I don't know how you would really try and do that, but taking all the humor out of it didn't really help. A lot of the intentional humor, anyway.
If only he had been in a garage, Black Void, and said groovy.
I do love that was basically them, like, everyone's complaining, let's just film this in the garage real quick. I don't know, just say groovy, whatever. Groovy. I saw something that was talking about, like, Evil Dead crossover plans delayed or whatever, like, maybe they were still planning on crossing over the remake with the Army of Darkness 2 or whatever they were talking about, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Mia's character again, honestly, because she was the best part about it, but I don't think they will use her, and it's a little bit pointless, honestly. I'm fine with what they're doing in the series now. There's no need to really revisit the remake. I didn't hate it, but it's not one that I care to rewatch. I'm much happier with this. And this was, the pilot was 45 minutes long, or 43 minutes, because it was, I guess, an extra long premiere, because I think most of them are just going to be half an hour, because they just wanted to be more compact with it, I guess, and not sort of draw things out. But it didn't feel like it was 43 minutes. Like, it went by pretty quickly. It never felt like there were any kind of draggy moments in it. Yeah. They already got renewed for season 2 before it even premiered. That's awesome.
That's pretty great.
I heard they might do some time travel stuff in it.
Ooh.
That's exciting. Excited to see where they go. So, what would you say was the high point? What would you say was the low point?
The low point was the doll. High point, was the fight at the end in the trailer.
I'd agree. That's pretty much exactly what I think.
It's a perfect blend of, the comedy from the original Evil Deads and, the action is pretty fun. They had a lot of good physical gags, but then they had a lot of, like, awesome moments, too, that wasn't just comedic. Like, you're like, oh, hell yeah. Exactly. I think it had the perfect mix of that. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I know I keep saying that, but I am excited. And it's nice to be excited about a TV show again. A lot of times you get in kind of a lull, and I hope that they can keep it up. Definitely. Groovy. Groovy. So check it out if you guys haven't seen it. Allison out. Groovy.